Hi everyone. So I'm going to share with you today my favorite apple crisp. Well, I make it a berry apple crisp. So it's a berry apple crisp recipe. This recipe I got from a recipe book, and I got this at a I guess it was like a fundraiser, and I found this recipe book. It's I got it years and years ago, but they have this recipe on here, and it's for apple crisp, and it's so well loved. You're gonna see how disgusting the page looks, but don't judge. It's well loved. So here it is. You see all the splatter. And I don't know who this Julie Gillespie is, but it's a great recipe. And so I'm gonna, it's sort of, I follow it a little bit, but I do my version of it. So I'm gonna try to give you measurements, but I usually sort of mix things around, and I usually add as like a container full of blueberries. So this is one package, and this is about a pound of blueberries, so that's in there. And this is about 2 pounds of strawberries. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to use it all, but we'll see. And then I have about I have 3 small Fuji apples and 4 medium-sized Granny Smith apples. Okay, so I've cut up all the apples, and I actually forgot to rinse the blueberries, so I did that and mixed it together. Now I'm going to add the apples to the mixture, and my hands are clean. I've washed them, so I'm just going to mix them around. And then I'm going to add my sugar, my cinnamon, and my flour. The flour I added in to sort of absorb some of the juices. So let me go and rinse my hand and get the rest of the ingredients, and then I'll come right back. Okay, so I have about 2/3 cup of sugar. I'm going to do about 3 or 4 tablespoons of cinnamon, and I'm not sure if I'm going to have half a cup or 1 cup of flour. It just depends on how much fruit's in here. So let me just, it's a little hard when I only have one hand, so let me just put that in. See if you can watch me stir it. So all the fruit is coated with the sugar. My berries are wet because I rinsed them out, but that's okay. Oh, actually, I like to put the cinnamon first so that I make sure that it really gets a good coating of cinnamon. Like I said, I give a generous amount, so it could be 3 to 4 tablespoons. I just I like to look at it once I stir it up and see that all the fruits are coated. It might need a little bit more because I like to see a nice light coating on every single fruit. And then I think I'm going to need more than half a cup of flour, but let me just put the flour in. I add the flour slowly because I don't want to have it clump up. I want it to coat the fruit. So, see how that goes. It's going to make sort of a syrupy, gravy sort of consistency. I feel like I still need at least another half a cup of flour, or maybe a 1/4 cup. So let me just, maybe I just need a 1/4 cup more. So that would be 2/3, or no, 3/4 cup flour. I just want it to have a really heavy syrup look to the mixture. Yeah, for this amount of fruit, let me just show you here. It looks like that. It's not sort of pasty looking, but it's not like doughy. And that's what I want in my for my mixture to look like. So I'm going to use this 9 by 13 aluminum foil pan because I'm going to be taking this to the party, and I don't want to have to worry about getting my dish back. So I'm going to put the content of my bowl here, which has the apples and the berries, into this pan. I don't need to worry about greasing it up or oiling it up because it's going to be scooped up anyways, so it doesn't matter if stuff sticks to the bottom, and it usually doesn't. So I'm going to do that now. Let's just see if I can record this. Okay, so there's a bit more in the pan, in the bowl. There we go. So as you see, I have a lot of berries and apples in here, but that's great because it's going to feed a lot of people. And then what I do after this is I'm going to make the crust. And the crust is, I double the recipe in this, what's on here? I double the recipe, so in here it says 1 cup of flour and half a cup of margarine and half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to use 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of margarine or butter, and 1 cup of brown sugar. Okay, in my bowl I have 2 cups of flour. I'm adding in 1 cup of brown sugar, and then I cut up 1 cup of butter, and then I have my pastry blender, and I'm going to mix that up into a well, it's, I don't know what type of consistency, but until the butter is basically the size of little tiny peas. And it takes a bit, but it's pretty easy if you have a pastry blender. I know that before, when I was going to school, I think it was high school, if you didn't have a pastry blender, you can always use 2 knives. It takes a bit longer, but it still works. I've done that before in the past. This is a great recipe for the fall, and it's great for parties because it serves a lot of people. And you know, you can always, if you don't have fresh berries, you can use frozen berries, or you can just use apples, or you can just use berries. It really doesn't matter. But I get a lot of compliments on this recipe, so I thought I'd want to share it with you guys, all my friends out there on YouTube. It's a great recipe to have in your, let me take this bracelet off, in your, you know, index of, or collection of recipes. It's super fast, super easy, and super good. My kids and my husband are always asking me to make this. So, actually, the reason why I'm making it today, it's my grandfather, it's his birthday, and he's, I think he's 96 now, and we're having a celebration. There's a piece of brown sugar that's really hard, and it doesn't matter if there's lumps because it all melts together and it caramelizes, so that'll break that. So my mother asked me to make this, so that's what I'm doing. And my hands are clean, just so you guys know. Let me show you the consistency of this. Give me a second while I wash my hands here. A bit. Okay. So this is the consistency. It's small little peas, and I'm just going to put it on top of my dish here. Okay, I'm just going to pour this on top. Oops. Be careful. And then I'm just going to spread it evenly on the top. making sure I cover everything. Try to even it out as much as possible. And then I'm going to stick it in a preheated oven, which is preheated to 350 for 40 minutes. But usually what I do is I will bake this until I see some of the blueberry syrup popping on the top. Then I know that the berries have sort of really cooked well. And if I see blueberries popping or syrup on the top of it, I know that it's done the way I want it. I'm going to pat it down a little bit, make sure that it's nice and secure. Clean out the edges, and then pop it in the oven. Okay, so I have it in the oven at 350, and I'm gonna set my clock for 40 minutes, and then we'll see how far it goes from there. And I have a pan underneath, and that pan is just a cheap version of the Pantry Chef cookie sheets. It's a actual dish I got, I don't know, from some kitchen store. It was like $10, but I know you can get it at the Pampered Chef, and it's for making pizza. It makes everything really crispy, and I just like to put it on the bottom of that. It makes cooking more evenly for me. You don't need to do it. I've done it without, so the recipe's still great either way. Okay, so we'll wait 40 minutes, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Of course, my timing is really bad, so it's at 6:31, and I had to take it out because we're running late for the party. So what I'm going to do is just take it to the party and bake the rest there, the 20 minutes. It's probably better anyways because it'll be nice and hot, and then I'll have the ice cream. So I'll try and videotape what it looks like once it's done. So I had to make, sorry it's so loud here, but I had to put the apple crisp in there, and there's like 11 minutes left, so I'll show you when it's done. Okay everyone, so we're at my aunt's house and it's done. So it took about an hour. So we'll eat it and I'll let you guys know how it is. So this is it, there's not much left. So I stuck my ice cream in there in a little cooler. So, done.